The Grayson Waller effect is what a lot of people were anticipating about Elimination Chamber today. Gotta mention, there was a die, Rocky, die sign. A lot of people were saying, oh, it won't get to that level. There was a die, Rocky, die sign in Perth, Australia tonight. Ouch. Nonetheless, though, this was must-see. There were some big statements made tonight. No, Austin Theory was with Grayson Waller. Seth Rollins would announce that he's just days away from being medically cleared. So that's good news. We're going to have Seth 100% for WrestleMania. That's great to hear. Cody Rhodes would say that he wants to fight The Rock one-on-one. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because if that's going to happen, you got to think night one of WrestleMania is the only place. You're not going to put The Rock wrestling on a Raw or a SmackDown, are you? For clarification, there isn't another pay-per-view between Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania this year. There isn't a show in Saudi. So, I don't know. Seth, though, would stand up and say, you won't have to do it alone, basically. They never once mentioned a tag match. This is the perfect setup for one, though, and I think that's where it's still leading to. But from tonight, Cody wants The Rock one-on-one. Austin Theory, though, would think he's him and imitate The Rock, much to Cody and Seth's pleasure because they beat him down for it. And Seth got physical, hitting a curb stomp on Austin Theory, and of course shaking hands with Cody at the end. The alliance is there, it's real, but Grayson Waller's alliance with Austin Theory might be dead. He didn't help him at all. Do you know what, though? I like the fact they didn't attack Grayson. Obviously, they're in Australia. There's a small chance. I mean, it's a very small chance. It's not going to happen. But if you beat down Grayson Waller, maybe the crowd boo that. So I can see why they didn't do that. But what do you think? Do you think we're going to get Cody and Rock one-on-one? Do you think we're going to get a tag match? And when do you think it's going to happen? Let me know in the comment section of the video down below. This is things you might have missed from the Elimination Chamber 2024. Make sure you hit the like button. And if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too. So it would be Becky Lynch who would win the Elimination Chamber for the women's match tonight. This was the first match of the night that would now see Becky Lynch going for the WWE Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. No real big shocker there. There was some interesting stuff to talk about from the match, though. Of course, Bianca Belair was the third to last woman in the match. What happens for her now at WrestleMania? You can't imagine leaving Bianca off the card, so you've got to have something to do. What that is, though, I've got no idea going off the back of the Elimination Chamber. I don't know. And then, of course, the runner-up of the Chamber match, Liv Morgan, who's on a revenge tour. She's recently returned from injury. Of course, she's now not qualified. What do you do with Liv come WrestleMania? All questions to be answered. Didn't really like to see Liv and Raquel going at it in the Chamber, but it happened nonetheless. Naomi was the first woman eliminated. Quite shocking, but really, there always has to be a first elimination. And if it wasn't Naomi, who else would it have been? Bianca? I don't know. I understand not wanting to see someone eliminated, but there always does have to be one. And the talk, though, Tiffany Stratton, man. The crowd loved Tiffany. And do you know what? I heard a few podcasters and that say, I don't think she's ready for this kind of big stage. You know, nearly 50,000 people in a stadium. I don't think she's ready for that. BS. It was absolute BS. She performed amazingly. Tiffany Stratton was over. She was great. She had some career highlights in this match. Good for her. But the story coming out is Becky Lynch won the Chamber match. Let me know your thoughts on Becky winning in the comment section down below. Just before the Elimination Chamber, CM Punk would post on Instagram saying, had a rough day mentally today. My heart and spirit are in Perth. Just a hard day staying positive, and nobody wishes I was there performing for the fans more than me. Enjoy the show. Appreciate you all. Do you know what? These kind of statements from Punk really do show the passion. He's now sort of recaptured since coming back to WWE. So, you know, hopefully CM Punk's doing okay. Hopefully he's back ASAP, man. I do also want to point out how Becky Lynch's attire tonight was very Scott Hall inspired. Very, very cool from Becky Lynch. Well, it's official. New Catch Republic is officially a tag team name. Do you know what? I don't mind it. I just think, what's wrong with British Strong Style? I said this on Things You Might Have Missed the other week when they announced this. What's wrong with British Strong Style? I don't know, man. Imagine Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne as British Strong Style paired with William Regal. Like, come on, how good would that be? But a name isn't everything, and their performance tonight shone. They look like $1,000,000. Great tag team match versus the champs, the Judgment Day. Great use of Dom to get the heel heat at the start, of course. He would get involved in the match later on, of course, getting that foot under the rope to then be chucked out by the ref to then get a giant pop from the audience. So well done for that. Great use of Dirty Dom on this show, but it would be the Judgment Day picking up the win tonight. No real shock there either. I think they're going to go forward now to probably face Awesome Truth at WrestleMania potentially, which I think that's where the storyline's going, unless R-Truth maybe gets a new tag team partner. But man, we got to point out the wounds on Tyler Bate. Look at his side. Oh my God. Who says this is fake? The Kabuki Warriors were successful in defending their women's tag team titles tonight on the kickoff show. I saw so many people on social media not aware this was happening. Of course, the Kabukis defended against Indi and Candice. Indi getting that huge home country welcome. Massive ovation for Indi Hartwell in this match. They really played up Indi great during this with a hot tag and stuff. You could see how much it genuinely meant to her. You could see how much the Australian audience loved to see Indi Hartwell. Well done, WWE. Grayson Waller, though, he would take his opportunity, because why wouldn't he, to do the most disgusting thing in wrestling, a shoey. One thing that's very cool in wrestling, though, is this, the advertisement for 2K24. Look at this, for the women's and the men's, they use the overall rating as like the thing to say which pod the superstars are in. Love that. Drew McIntyre would win his Elimination Chamber. He will now go to WrestleMania to face Seth Rollins. Drew McIntyre, is he going to get his WrestleMania moment in front of the fans? If he does that mean that Drew McIntyre finishes his story before Cody Rhodes? Love it. It looked like Randy Orton was just about to win the match, though, when Logan Paul would knock him out with a brass knuckles. Logan was already eliminated. Could this be setting up a new multiple man match at WrestleMania? Maybe even a ladder match? Potentially? Oh yeah, it happened on pay-per-view. Kevin came in like a wrecking ball. He also came into the stadium with a koala. And do you know what? Wrestling's very educational, because I found out on this show, it's not a koala bear. I always called it a koala bear. Kevin Owens would hit a choke slam in this match tonight. Michael Cole on commentary confirming that he met a Make-A-Wish kid and promised him he'd utilise the choke slam. So well done, Kevin Owens. I like the fact Logan Paul wrote Kevin sucks on his pod, but Kevin Owens would get in the pod and destroy Logan Paul. Oh my God, he obliterated him until Lashley would put Kevin Owens through a pod and then spear Logan Paul through a pod. Brutal. And you know what? Poor Bobby Lashley was the first one eliminated. Still selling the arm after last night's SmackDown. AJ Styles would enter the Elimination Chamber as Lashley was making his exit and basically screw LA Knight. Beat him down with a chair. Styles clash on the chair. This feud's not over. Is this a WrestleMania match? AJ versus LA Knight? But as I said, Drew McIntyre was the victor. Drew McIntyre is going to WrestleMania to face Seth Rollins. Now the question becomes, is Drew McIntyre gonna finish his story? Triple H would show up on the show, say thank you to Perth for being great hosts, and then announce that attendance was 52,590 for Elimination Chamber. It was then all eyes on the main event, Rhea versus Nia. I was so happy that they got the main event spot. Nia obviously determined to humiliate Rhea in front of her family who were sat at ringside, but they had nothing truly to worry about because Rhea Ripley would retain the Women's World Championship. What an ovation, what a moment, what a riptide that won her the match. The pyro, the fireworks, the end of the show. It was all about Rhea Ripley, and I like that. Well done, WWE. I 100% agree with the criticism that this show was very predictable. I do agree with that. I also think it doesn't help that a lot of wrestling fans are very tired tonight. For me personally, it's a 6 out of 10 show. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Like the video, share the video, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!